I probably have a larger history of St. Laurentius than many people who have been part of the community in more recent years. My entire family is from the area. In fact, my dad was just buried out of St. Laurentius 2.5 years ago. We attended school there. We participated with all the fundraising campaigns, whether it was to build the new convent or fix the spires or the clock on the towers. The church is a very valuable part of the Polish American community. It's one of the special things about St. Laurentius is it was not only a church from the very beginning that welcomed and catered to the Polish people, but it welcomed people of all nationalities who lived in the area. That's the most important thing about St. Laurentius that we could say. That when a few years ago, when all of these mergers began, you first found out that the church properties were not under their control, that it belonged to the diocese and that then it belonged to Rome. If the people had known this a long time ago, they would have maybe done things differently. And I'm very glad that it's come to this point. But let me just tell you about the very beginning. Back in 1880, the groups who settled in South Philly started to move to the Fishtown area. In 1880, they founded the Polish National Alliance on 3rd Street. By 81, they were already gathering to find a church property which they could call their own. Of course, there were some difficulties in the area, but getting back to the structure of the church, Mr. Durang presented the people of St. Laurentius that idea of its look based upon many of the churches in Poland. So not only does it have a significance of being, owned and operated by the Polish people for the last 130 years, it's also a place that was brought to America to bring that spirit. And following the building of St. Laurentius, we did have other churches that mirrored it, like St. John Cantius, St. Adalbert, St. Ladislaus, and others that came into the picture that were part of the community. But it's a very important part of the community. The people want to save it, and that's the most important thing. In these days when people push aside and say, well, who cares or whatever, this structure, the people want it to be there. It's important. It's always been historic to the Polish community because this was the first place people from all over the area decided we will make this our community. And they did. And they built this beautiful structure. I think it's time for all the parties to get at the same table and make sure that this beautiful structure continues to serve the community and we forget the past and look forward to a long and healthy future. And with that, I would like to present each of you a video, if you would accept it. It is of the church, outside and in. And I will tell you this too, as different architectural groups and all come around, I do take them from Poland, I do take them around to the various places to show them Polish history. And every one of them marvels at the way the church has been maintained. The church is absolutely a masterpiece. And being involved in the church and my family and reading the Sunday Bulletin and knowing Father Zhemba and Father Gwiazda, every imaginable opportunity to fix something was done very quickly. And every person here knows that. If the clock was not perfectly in line with he immediately said, if somebody can help us to do it. The structure was absolutely maintained with honor. And so I please ask that you take a look at this at your convenience. It's 25 minutes. And I thank you in behalf of the Polish community. I have submitted a letter, and I ask that you join with the Polish community in declaring it historic. Thank you.
Thank you.